Hey guys and girls, my name is Alan and welcome to this gameplay commentary. I bet you never thought you'd see another Mass Effect Andromeda multiplayer match on this channel, am I right? Well anyway, this is some old footage. I haven't started playing the game or anything again recently, but basically there's some news that dropped at the weekend. I don't know if you've heard about it yet. I did do a news drop episode on Equal Vision, and basically it's talking about how Bioware have officially come out and said that they're no longer going to be supporting single player for MEA. So no more patches, no more updates, and more importantly, what people are really annoyed about is that there's no DLC, no single player DLC at all coming. In recent months and weeks, there have been several rumours and several articles from certain news companies, and for the most part, Bioware have sort of brushed it aside, or just shrugged it off and said, oh, blah blah blah, it's not true. Well, okay, that's the thing. They never actually came out and said that it wasn't true. They never hard countered any of the stuff that was posted in these articles. They tried to, make it, not a big deal, but obviously they must have known at that point that these articles were onto a true thing. So I don't know. I think it's kind of sad, obviously, that the game won't get any DLC. I know a lot of people were talking about like the arcs that were missing, like the Quarians, for example. And yeah, I would have liked to have seen a few of those turn up as well. And the main thing is because bringing those into single player would then mean they would probably filter into multiplayer. So no single player Quarians means no multiplayer Quarians, and that's a shame because I quite like the Quarian race from the original Mass Effect trilogy. So it's a shame that they won't be coming back. But yeah, I guess it is what it is. I mean, I won't lie and say I was planning to buy the DLC for this game because quite frankly I wouldn't have done. I mean, I'm struggling to complete the campaign. I'm not finding it very interesting at all, and there's a variety of reasons. The first thing is the storyline is not that intriguing to me. I'm not particularly fussed about what's going on. I kind of lose track of what's going on, mainly because the way that the game paces itself, in that obviously they have these worlds that you have to explore. We don't have to explore, but to get the most out of the game, you sort of have to explore. You have to get out there and do things, unless you just want to literally go to A to B to back to C or blah blah blah. That's just really boring anyway. So I don't know. I guess it's not the sort of game that I usually play. And I was thinking about it the other day, and I sort of compare it when you're exploring these worlds. I sort of compare it to sort of GTA. But the difference is, in GTA, there's so much stuff that you can do in between going to a mission. So you can get sidetracked by any number of things. For me, for example, I would just get sidetracked by road rage, or somebody will make a funny comment to me and I'll bash his head in, just stuff like that. Because that's what GTA is all about, right? You get sidetracked, you do stupid things. Before you know it, if you wasted half an hour before you've actually gone on to do the actual mission. But in MEA, you sort of drive in the Nomad. There's a bit of funny banter between your teammates. But for the most part, it's just open desert space or jungle or whatever, and you don't really see anything. And as I said in a previous video before, when you do encounter enemies, it's like mini outposts or mini encampments. It's the same couple of troops over and over again. There's no variety. The engagements are easy. You don't even have to stop. You could just drive past them. But for the sake of variety, sometimes I'll pull over. I'll do them in, and then I'll search for a crate or whatever, which is full of useless crap. And sometimes it's not even worth picking up the crate, but again, it's just something to do, right? So I think the problem with the game, one of the problems with the game, is that there's just a lot of filler and not a lot of content. And I mean, the world is beautiful and everything to look at, but it's not the reason why I bought the game. I want to play, I want a story, I want action, I want content. I don't want to just drive around a map and think, oh yeah, that looks quite nice, or have obviously the banter between the teammates, as I said, is funny, and I guess it's worth it to listen to the conversation, but it's not really what I paid full whack for, so it's a bit disappointing in that respect. So yeah, that's the single player stuff. So there's not going to be any DLC, no more patches, no more updates, nothing at all. The final patch came out a couple of weeks ago, and that was literally the final patch. And they did say though in the same statement that they would continue to support multiplayer. Now they were very vague about it. They didn't say anything specifically, so they didn't give a timeline or anything like that. But they just said that the multiplayer team are continuing to support multiplayer. I mean, logically, I'd assume that they're going to continue with balance changes for the time being. But again, we don't know how far into the future this is going to be. I mean, they say they're going to continue to support multiplayer, but is that for like one more patch or one more update? I don't know. They did say there's a couple more kits on the way. I mean, people have been talking about data mine characters on Reddit. So I guess there's a few more things to look forward to, again, if you're interested in multiplayer. And they did mention as well something about N7 Day. Now, N7 Day is November the 7th to celebrate Mass Effect, I guess, in general, which is quite a while away. So does that mean there's going to be at least a few more months of support for multiplayer, or they're just going to, do something for that day in the future? I don't know, who knows. And also they're going to continue to release missions or variations of missions. So if you like doing Apex missions with a twist, then I guess that's good for you. But for me, it's missions for my strike teams rather than missions for myself, because I haven't played multiplayer and I don't think I'm going to jump back on anytime soon, unless they sort something out. Because it's good that they are continuing to support multiplayer, because that means there's a little bit of hope that they could sort out the mess that it is at the moment. But on the other hand, the impression that I get from, I mean, obviously they've heard the criticism and all the rest of it about patch 1.09, and they haven't really addressed it or said that they're going to do anything about it. The one change that they made with patch 1.10 is that they have locked the X. So basically, your characters can go to level X, but they have locked it so that until you've maxed all your characters to level X, you won't get higher than level X. So basically, that means every character you've got that's not ultra rare, you're guaranteed to get to level X before you get any of the plus ranks of those characters, which I guess is a good thing. So all new kits that come out which aren't ultra rare, you'll be able to pretty much get to level X before you're likely to level up any of the other characters to a higher point. So that's a good change. People were asking for that to happen to the weapons as well. They haven't said they would do it, but my impression of that is they're not going to do it, because if they were going to do it, they would have done it at the same time as the characters. Though I guess if enough people stop playing, or enough people jump on the complaining bandwagon, then they might make some changes. But for me, it's a little bit too late at the moment, and I've moved on. And again, until they make some significant changes, I don't think I'm going to come back either. The most that I've played in terms of multiplayer is literally the Apex app. Is it called the Apex app? I can't remember. Apex HQ or something. So I've been sending out my strike teams on the regular, once in the evening, once in the morning. I should have said that the way around, but you know what I mean. So that's all I've been doing. For some reason, I feel like I should be continuing to earn mission funds. It's like a mini game, and I don't know why, because I don't know what I'm going to spend these mission funds on. And I keep logging in as well every week to buy the weekly equipment that's released. Again, I'm not going to use this equipment. I literally don't know why I'm doing it, but I just have a hope that they are going to change multiplayer for the better in the future. And I don't know how long it's going to take, and I don't know if they're ever going to do it, but I guess I'm just holding out hope that if they ever do it, then I'll be prepared, because I'll have a stack of mission funds ready to go, and I have all these pieces of equipment that I could use. And I haven't spent any of my credits since I stacked them up before 1.09. So if they ever sort this mess out, I could potentially come back, spend a couple of million, get some new stuff, potentially get some new stuff, and then obviously I've got the equipment and I've got the mission funds ready to go as well. So I don't know, I'll probably give it to end of the year, maybe past N7 day, see what they do. But I mean, with Co-op Arena coming out, well, Survival Arena for Uncharted 4 multiplayer coming out soon, to be honest, my attention is going to be elsewhere. So I mean, yeah, it's disappointing that Mass Effect has turned out to be what it is, and it's something that I'm not really enjoying. But I've got other games to play. I've got lots of other games to play. So it's in some ways it's kind of a blessing, because if I'd spent as much time playing MEA as I did playing ME3, my game collection, or rather my unplayed game collection, would be even bigger than what it currently is. So every cloud, silver lining. Okay, so I'm going to get down to details about the match in a second, but I just want to talk about this player here. So I don't know if you've noticed, but he's been AFK, or AFC as I say, since the start of the match. And I've clocked this, and I've voted to kick him, but the other two players haven't clocked onto it yet, or they've just chosen not to boot him. But basically, I've noticed that he's been AFK for this time, so I'm going to sit behind him now. And basically, what my plan was is to just keep him alive, because he might as well be a human shield rather than just three of us drawing aggro all the time. So I'm going to keep him alive, use him as a shield, as you can see there. So he's taking fire while I'm shooting the enemies that are shooting him. So that's my plan. So I don't know why players do this, but I've seen it quite a lot. Well, I saw it quite a lot while I was playing, and I guess, well, the technical term is he could be a leech. And basically what he's doing is he's in the match, but he's not doing any work. But obviously if we succeed, then he'll still get paid at the end of the match. So if you do see players doing this, keep an eye out for them, then do give them the boot. You can kick them from the game, so bring up your menu, bring up the scoreboard, highlight their name, there should be an option to kick them from the match. And don't be afraid to do it, because at the end of the day, it's a co-op game, and if everyone's not playing the game, then they might as well not be there. So this guy is a dick, and he shouldn't be in the game. And as I said, eventually we do kick him, but unfortunately the other two do take their time doing it. So we were basically a three-man team until that point. Okay, so the match you're watching is on Firebase Sandstorm in the daytime, as you can see. And I'm using the female human Infiltrator, and I'm using one of the ultra rare weapons, the Dhan shotgun. The Dhan shotgun fires balls of plasma, and those plasma balls are considered projectiles, so they're not hit scan. So basically they do have a travel time, and they do basically they're affected by things like lag and obviously enemy movement, because if you shoot a target and they happen to move slightly to the left or to the right or whatever, and it takes your ball a certain amount of time to get there, then they might potentially miss. I do think it has a tiny bit of tracking, if I remember correctly. Not a massive amount, but if you shoot like slightly to the left or right of a troop, it will sort of home in onto the center part. But obviously, if you properly miss, then it's not going to circle around and go around cover or anything like that. So the Dhan shotgun, obviously, as the name suggests, is a CQC weapon. However, because it fires a projectile, a single shot projectile basically, it does have a bit of reach. So as you saw earlier in the match, I'm using it at close range, but I'm also using it at sort of mid range. You can't shoot cross map. It does have a drop off point. Earlier on you saw me shooting up at the roof. It doesn't quite reach that far, but enemies just below that point or just before that staircase, I could actually hit with the Dhan shotgun, and you can't do that with many other shotguns, or if you could, the pellets will only land maybe 1 or 2 pellets. So the Dhan shotgun's really good. I really do rate it quite highly. Some people have compared it to the gas plasma shotgun from ME3. The difference being the Dhan, you don't need to charge up, you just fire it, it does a lot of damage to start off with. Other people have compared it to the Claymore. Now the Claymore, if you didn't play ME3, is a single shot heavy shotgun. So basically it's a lot of damage, but you have to reload after every single shot. So it's a bit like a shotgun sniper, I guess. And it's funny because some people did actually use it as a sniper. You put a smart choke on it, you can get some pretty decent reach on it. And if you made use of reload cancelling, which a lot of people did, not just with the shotguns, single shot shotguns, but with also with snipers as well, you could do a lot of work. So unfortunately, reload cancelling doesn't return in MEA, and I think they left it out on purpose, or maybe they didn't want to put it in or whatever. But that has really affected the way that I personally and a lot of other people play with single shot snipers and single shot shotguns, because you just can't put out as many rounds as you could if the game were ME3. So it does make obviously these weapons not as effective as they once were, but it also means that I don't have as much fun when I'm sniping or using a shotgun, because if I miss a shot, it's excruciatingly painful to wait for the reload. And enemies are so much more agile in this game because they've got jetpacks. I mean, yeah, you've got jetpacks as well, but they can move around a lot. I mean, the sharpshooter is just one example. Runs around like mad. So if you miss a shot with a sniper or a single shot shotgun, and you have to wait for the reload, it's just so painful. So yeah, it's, I don't know, I think it's surprising, like such like when I first started playing ME3, I didn't reload cancel and I didn't know anything about it. But then once I started doing it, I did it on the regular, and obviously now they've took it out of the game, I realized how crucial it was to have in the game. And some people said it was a trick that should have been removed, but not really. I mean, like, anybody could learn to use it, and it wasn't game breaking or anything. It just meant that you could potentially fire off more rounds in a certain amount of time than if you didn't do it. And as I said, everyone could learn it. It wasn't like a hack or a cheat or anything like that. It was a skill that you picked up as you played the game. As I said, I didn't use it at the start because I didn't know it existed, but then I found out about it. I watched a couple of people do it on YouTube, and I was like, yeah, man, I want to try this out. And I took it didn't take long to pick it up, like a couple of minutes in the firing range. I think that's where I learnt it. And once I started doing it, you increase the amount of bullets you can put down range and the amount of enemies you can kill. And when you're using a heavy single shot weapon such as the Claymore, the Widow, the Javelin, basically you could take out one enemy, bang, cancel, reload, take out another enemy, and so on and so forth. In this game, for starters, most enemies don't even die in one hit anyway, so that's a problem. But if you miss the target, then having to wait for that reload, as I say, is really, really painful. Right, so I don't know if you just saw there, but I had to use my one and only med gel. And the reason why I had only one med gel, well, I can't remember the exact reason, but I'm assuming it's because I just forgot to buy some from the store. And basically back in the day, I would, well, you should know by now, but I used to stack up my credits and buy, go through a shopping spree and buy a load of crates, and obviously that's what I did. So if I ran out of gels or anything like that, I'd sort of just have to wait, but I'm guessing in this case I just forgot. So I used my one and only gel, which is really bad, to be honest. I shouldn't have forgot to restock before I went into the match. It's something that I did once or twice actually before, but fortunately I'm playing as the Infiltrator, and obviously my teammates, well, they picked me up at the start, but in that situation now I was on my own, so I had an option but to gel, otherwise I would have died. Then again, I mean, the teammates probably would have clutched out the wave, but the thing with gelling is that obviously, every player up means that the match will finish a bit quicker, but it also means that you don't have to sit and wait and rely on them to complete the round, because even though they probably will be able to do it, I'd rather have fate in my own hands. So, and especially a late wave as well. Early wave, yeah, you can maybe sit it out, but towards the end, you kind of want to gel if you have to. I mean, obviously, wait for your teammates if you decide you want to wait for your teammates, but you don't want to bleed out, especially waves 5 and 6, because it's a pretty crucial time in the match. So yeah, but that's just me. That's how I see it anyway. So that's my last gel. So if I went down now, it's obviously a bit of a tricky situation because I can't pick myself up. And you generally want to leave at least 1 or 2 gels for the final 2 waves. Well, at least 1 for extraction anyway, in case anything happens as you're running to the EZ. Right, so this match is sort of drawing to an end now. I'm surprised I've been able to talk for this long, to be honest with you. I didn't think I was going to fill 20 minutes of gameplay, but there you go. So, as I was saying a little bit earlier, Uncharted 4 will be getting an update this week in the form of Survival Arena. So it's a new co-op mode, which I will be looking forward to trying out. And obviously I'll be posting some gameplay and thoughts and impressions to this channel. But also, the Lost Legacy DLC, single player DLC, is also coming out this week. So I'll be posting a full gameplay walkthrough on my Players channel. I will link that channel in the description. I'll also link it on the screen now. But basically I'm doing a full gameplay walkthrough. So if you're interested to watch me play through it for the first time with live commentary, then check out that channel. And as I said, I will be posting some arena footage to this channel as well. It's mad that it's been a year since Uncharted 4 launched. And I was watching back a couple of my old news drop videos and how I was really annoyed at the time having to wait extra time for co-op. And then obviously December rolled around and we got survival, and I was disappointed with that because it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And then another 6 months, well, longer than 6 months now, 7 months later, 8 months later, we're finally getting co-op arena. So a full year and nearly a quarter after Uncharted 4 first came out that we're finally getting survival arena. You may or may not have seen it already, but I did do a sort of reaction to the reveal of Survival Arena. It's on the channel. I will link that video in the description. I will also link it on the screen now. But basically, I talk about how I first thought about the reveal trailer for Arena. And then obviously, Naughty Dog did a stream, which I did an analysis on Acorn Vision. So again, head over there if you want to check it out. But basically, I talk about all the stuff that I thought looked good, what looked bad. And it's funny because just before that live stream by Naughty Dog, and obviously when they released the trailer and all the rest of it, I did make a video about the stuff I didn't want to see come into Arena, obviously returning from Survival, and the stuff that I did want to come back, bring into the game. So, yeah, I mean, it was mixed, very mixed emotions, very mixed feelings about the reveal, because a lot of the stuff shown I didn't want to come back, if I'm quite honest with you, but having watched the stream, having watched them play a match, I don't know, I'm willing to give it a chance, and hopefully when I play it, it's a lot more fun than what I saw. Yeah, I think I'm going to end the video here because my voice is getting a bit tired, but also because it's extraction wave now, so all I need to do is survive and hopefully not get downed. And if I do get down, hopefully my teammates pick me up. And I've got 4 ops packs, so worst case scenario I can just pop those and hopefully keep myself alive until the end of the 2-minute timer. So as I said, I'll be posting plenty of Uncharted Survival Arena footage in the next few days and weeks. Hopefully into the next few months if I enjoy it. I will of course again be posting my full walkthrough for the Lost Legacy on my Players channel, so if you want to watch me play that, that's what I'm going to be concentrating on for the next few days until I've finished the campaign and obviously uploaded it all, and then I'll be moving on to Arena. Hopefully I can get it all out quickly for you to enjoy. But yeah, so that'll do it for today's video. If you enjoyed the content, consider tapping that like button, I really do appreciate it. And if you've got your thoughts you'd like to share with me regarding anything I've talked about today, let me know in the comment section below. Were you looking forward to single player DLC for MEA, or were you not that fussed like me? And also, how far do you think into the future do you think they're going to actually continue to support multiplayer? Let me know in the comment section below, I'll be interested to hear. But until next time, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, take care, and I'll see you later. And obviously I'll just let the gameplay roll out to the end so that you can see what the final result is. But yeah, until next time, see you later.